Good evening to all of you. This is the Power of Healing with Utabi Ungowekhethelo, inkanyezi yamakhosi womntungwa, iqhwalento wasahlobo. So guys, today I'm going to be talking about something new, okay? Something a lot or most of spiritually called people don't know. They don't know, and I think for me now I'm going to be revealing a secret ezoyenza ukuthi abantu they go back and research themselves, because we do not have understanding. So I'm going to be talking about symbols and signs that represent our calling and where you descend from, because as an asazi, we have followed a spiritual journey kodwa sazi this. So this is a secret that ugogo revealed to me, or was revealed to me at a very early age in my life, or at the beginning of my journey, and that has guided me up until now. And if you haven't experienced it, that means awukaqedi, or that means you are not there yet. So yeah. So but before I do that, there's a few things, sort of like 5 things I want to touch base on, guys, so that siba ne lento, siba ku same level of understanding, ne? Guys, I don't mean to brag, and I don't mean to seem like I'm proud. I said when I was talking about characteristics of Inzuza, I said Inzuza is very humble and down to earth. Ayizikhukhumezi and ayizazisi, not arrogant. And I follow that guidance, and I follow that with a proper caution. So I do not want to be seen as somebody who brags, or who's very arrogant, or who's full of herself. But ngifuna explain this thing. My Nzuza, how I was initiated, my Nzuza and my umdawu is different to yours. That is one, because we have one thing of trying with yonkinto must work the same, and if mine does not resonate with yours, that means mine is not right. Guys, I always say this, aspiwanga ngokufana. That's one. My Nzuza and yours is not the same. How I was initiated, how I got to start my journey and up until here is different to your journey. That's one. I remember saying I don't want to talk about candles and angafiki lapho. Not that I don't know their meaning, but the day I reveal what really mean, a lot of people will see how they have followed izinto ngendlela wrong for a long time. One of my clients said to me, Sister Tabi, I really need to unlearn certain things, and this is one of the things that I'm going to teach you today. If the day I explained the candles, hence I said, I think in 1 or 2 of my videos, understand the candles that you use, because you will find yourself channeling wrong spirits, and you saying impilo yami iyabheda, impilo yami imile, impilo yami ayindawo, but you've been channeling things as wrong. I'm not disputing, or I'm not in any way saying abanye abantu izinto zabo wrong. They know how things were revealed to them, so I cannot dismiss their practices. And coming to practices, how I practice my things, how I go about doing my things, you will be shocked when you come for a consultation and bese ubona ukuthi izinto angizenzi ngale ndlela ocabanga ngayo, or izinto for mina they don't work the way wena uwazi ngayo, because sifuna ukufollowa i-trend ethize yomuntu. Umuntu loyo bekaboniswe ngokwakhe, as we are also unique in our own ways. So when umuntu comes to Uthabi, do not expect that you're going to get what you've been getting, because the whole point of you guys, the whole point of you being called to be healed by me or being shown me is totally different to another healer. Okay, so Uthabi follows her own practices. Uthabi does her own practices. Uthabi, there's certain things that you are familiar with that she doesn't do. My explanations and how things were explained to me, or how things are explained to me, might be totally different from what you've been hearing from other healers. And I said I'm very humble, guys. I'm not bragging, but I'm saying the way I was taught and the way things are revealed to me, different. Okay? That is why I do not follow social media. I wouldn't be Utatebawo or have this title had I have followed indlela zabanye abantu, or had I have followed other people's ways and practices. I am who I am because I chose to be different. And him that called me to this healing or to this purpose knew that I was different. So I practiced different. Okay? So my calling, guys, my calling and how I was called might be different to the sangomas or the mediums or whoever that you've been consulting with. So when I explain things to you and you want to mix, so guys, I also want to mention this. When you come to me and I give you advice on how to go about doing things, if you're going to want to edit what I said, it's out of my hands, because I know exactly the path in which I am actually guiding you on. I tell you what I am told exactly as it is. So when you're going to consult with me today and consult with somebody tomorrow and try to mix these two, I don't practice the same. So I just want you guys to know that I don't practice the same, and I let you be. If you're going to say I know I consult no muntu and now then you're comparing me. I'm not for that. You are comparing me and you want me to compete with this other person now. I'm not for that, guys. I leave you to be, to go about doing your things. Don't come and say it didn't work because of me. I mean, I'm guiding you the way I'm shown by your ancestors and by the spirit guides that are actually present in your life. So if you're going to go about comparing healers, that is why we are confused, and that is why we are sick, and that is why things are standing still, and that is why it seems like life is not going anywhere. You choose in which whoever that you want help from, and you stick to that. This jumping about, that is why Uzotolu confused. Because I will tell you about the green, and when are you expecting me to tell you about the red? I don't see the red. That is why I'm not talking about the red. Everything I guide you on or read is what I'm shown. Exactly. No filter, no filters, no alterations, nothing. I don't edit. I tell you as it is. Guys, and this is what got me to who I am even today. The honesty and sticking to the rules. Because I said Inzuza is it has boundaries and needs one to be very respectful of the boundaries. It is a very pure spirit. It is a very holy spirit. Uma is one spirit that gives if you listen. Uma is one spirit that opens doors and unlock mysteries if you listen. Without doubt and without comparison. I just wanted you to understand that, because then people that come and say, but I was told this, I went here. I don't know. I don't want to hear where you went. If you are sent to me, you are sent to me. I treat you as as one of my children that was sent to me. Mine are chosen. Mine are chosen, guys, and that I'm not ashamed of. Because even with the requirements of how I go about embracing the spirits, the gift of spirits that I'm given is totally different to somebody else. So if I had to tell you about Amanono and how I got to embrace and acknowledge and perform certain rituals in a different way, you would say Amanono because of it. Or if I tell you about Abalozi in a different way, it doesn't mean Abalozi there's something wrong. No. Utabile is shown differently. My revelations, my dreams, everything. Katabi is clear and honest. Always. Anyways, I just wanted to mention that. So going back to the signs and symbols of our call that represent our calling and represents who we are. Guys, there are signs that we get, I think also in our phones, right? If you go to your emojis, there are religious signs that we think it's religious signs that we get from those images, from those emojis, sorry. And for a long time they have been explained as religious signs or religious symbols. In a few of my videos, I've mentioned that the link between religion and spirituality. There's one that talks about religion being a base of spirituality, or spirituality being a base of religion. But basically, these two are interlinked in such a way that before there was religion, there was spirituality. Before there was religion, there was spirituality. We are descendants. We descendant from the generation from the lawns of Abraham, the lawns of Moses, the lawns of Jacob. And yet people will say, Labo aksama tonga wetu or aksama luzetu mazela Abraham. We are descendants. When we speak of forefathers, when we speak of ancient spirits, who are we talking about, Gandhi? As much as we would like to differentiate it or separate it from the religion or the beliefs that we follow, or the set of rules that we follow, basically it all started in spirituality, because Abraham was given a calling and a gift of leading people in which he had to be obedient to. Moses, the same thing. Samson, the same thing. Jacob, the same thing. They were all given callings and gifts. Because in total honesty, of all the things we need to understand Sikonzu Jehovah. The one above all these things is God. But I don't want to get into that one. I just want to tell you, Guti, spirituality and religion, they are like this. But it is because people then decided, Guti, I want to practice a certain type of religion. Then it got to be separated. Then it was seen as something different. But in total honesty, it all started with spirituality. Hence, we have all the symbols. And I did speak about ikali and the different meanings of ikali esizinazo zomoya or zesithunywa in my last video, I think. It all started from there. So today I said, let me make it broader and give you a deeper explanation where all this thing come from, so that you will get to understand your calling. Okay? So spirituality in itself, right, when it starts with you, it starts with a symbol, because the symbol will tell you exactly who you descend from, or where your calling descends from. Okay? So for instance, guys, we have indugu that have different shapes. Indugu, I'm talking about the walking sticks. Is it sometimes some call it a cane, some call it a walking stick, because with every healer or with everybody who's spiritually gifted, lendugu funega, but with different shapes and different heads and different what. There's a reason for that. It is the descendants of your calling, where it descends from, laphe vela khona, the forefathers. We speak of amakhosi, and yet we do not understand that amakhosi came from generations, and how they were built, or how they were created then. Okay? So there is these symbols guys that we get emojis, which I'm going to send pictures of them on my posts. So if you look at my post, you'll understand the symbols I'm talking about. So they were explained as symbols of religion, because now people started saying, okay, Mina, with my spirituality, I want to form a certain church that follows this symbol, or follows this rules, or follows this kind of forefather, or this forefather, for instance. So people started saying, okay, I'm going to follow Buddha, I'm going to follow Hindu, I'm going to follow Christianity, I'm going to follow Baha'i, I'm going to follow Ayavaji, I'm going to follow, that's because they started choosing, okay, Tina, we're going to start following the book of Moses. We're going to start following the book of Abraham. We're going to start God starts following the book of Peter. But it all started in spirituality, where these forefathers had gifts and callings in which they communicated with God. Right? So these symbols, you get a paganism star, and then you get paganism cross, ne? So you get this one, like it's like a form of a star, and then you get paganism, which is a cross. You get a zodiac sign, which is the zodiac sign of David. I was given that as my gift, because that represents my calling and who I am. And if you are a medium, especially if you are a medium, or if you practice shamanism, you will be gifted that symbol. The first thing that you will see in your dream is that symbol. That symbol is your calling and who you are and where you descend from. And then you get is the one that people say it's Islam. Basically, is your calling and who you and how your calling was formed. And then there is what I did speak about Judaism. There's the serpent, which is now the symbol of sort of like a snake. We call it the serpent. There's Hinduism, there's Christianity, Latin cross, there's Christianity, Great Cross, there's Buddhism. But these are basically all symbols, guys. These are basically all symbols, and they tell you about the history of your calling. So if you follow it, gahle, you will get to understand where you're going, and you will get to understand who you are. So I spoke about Inzuza being the water spirits, being with them there's hierarchy, and so also with that symbol tells you, explains, okay, in the hierarchy, if I'm a water child, in the hierarchy of the water spirit, where am I? The symbols explain, guys, and it's just that we don't really, want to we don't give ourselves a chance to say, Bogogo, explain. I want to know more about me. So that is why I said I was in a spiritual training for 25 years plus and got initiated for 15 months, because after the spiritual training, the spiritual training was teaching me about the symbols, was teaching me about the animals, was teaching me about the goddesses, the sun in its the sun in its nature and the moon in its nature, and how these two get to feed each other. So when I speak about fire spirits and wind spirits working together, and I speak about earth spirits and water spirits working together, supporting each other in some sort of a way, and when I speak about the sun and the moon up and down, I know what I'm talking about, because I have given myself to learn for years, to learn that. So guys, I want you, when you dream of a sign, so these signs, yeah, I want to mention this. These signs, so a lot of people, when they dream about them, sorry, I'm choking. A lot of people, when they dream about them, what they do is they think they are linked to some sort of certain practices, like devilish practices. Guys, I said intuition should tell you where you are, and Mina, I'm going to have to break down things. Scissors break it down into small chunks so that you can be able to chew and swallow. I'm going to break them like this so you understand exactly where you're coming from. Let us break this chain of struggling without us knowing why we are struggling. That is why when I say, I'm going to start from Pansy, and on my way up, I start from underneath. I want to know, because as you leave my space, you need to have clarity to where you're going. And I have never disappointed. Never disappointed. The day I disappoint, just know that I'm not in a good space. But even with that, I make sure. We need to know imvelaphi yethu. And I always speak about, listen to all my videos. Yes, it might seem like no motivation, but it's going somewhere. Because I know people want to hear about things that they are familiar with, and I'm still saying, if you're going to follow things that you're familiar with, you're going to be stuck. If you if familiarity and things to be like this, and you are stereotyped into one thing, you're going to be stuck. You are going to be stuck. Light is for us to reach. Light is out there. The doors of the universe are unlocking. I said 2023 should be a game changer, and it has become a game changer for other people who listen. It is really becoming a game changer for people who listen. God always knocks. It's up to you whether you open the door or you don't. One day I will explain what this is. The cycle of life. How this God was trying to say to us, this is the cycle of life, and this has a story behind it. The palm and the fingers tell a story of your life, but people still don't understand it. But I'll talk about it one day. Anyways, and also guys, as much as I share, guys, I don't share most of the stuff. So when I share things about shamanism, and then I'm sharing konke, because I know people will listen. Umuntu ayenza video about something they know nothing of. Nizobulala abantwana babantu, because you go out there and you say, try it. It's simple. You can do it naturally. You don't mention the dangers, and I don't mention some of the things because I don't want people to copy izinto batshela abantu bazobulala iy'ngane zabantu. I tell people what Gogo allows me to tell you, what Ikehla allows me to tell you. So when you copy it and you go about saying, no, shamanism is natural, yay. Now you start mentioning the movies that I mentioned, yay. Guys, you're going to kill people. This thing of e-calling and healing should be a journey for one. And should be ama revelations omuntu by himself or herself. And how they practice it should be his or her own practice. When we share on social media, I said I'm a mentor. And guiding the way I'm guided, namself, because namself I'm guided. So when you say go and practice astral traveling, or go and practice this and that, it's easy. Guys, it was just unfortunate that I just got that I just went into this land and I saw that video. I was like, ha 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 ha. Guys, some things kill. As much as I often say, even spirits themselves can kill. How they come across, you can actually die or be paralyzed from it. Thank you so much, and I do hope you subscribe to my channel and follow me and like, and yeah, turn on the notification button. This is the power of healing with Utabi, and I hope you enjoy the rest of your evening.